All right, so on request, I backtested a strategy, and I think it's not something that is new. Actually, everything that comes from ICT isn't new, right? But I try to make a rule set that makes it easier for you if you find it hard to maybe look at the daily bias and get in on the power of three and really the fine concepts of ICT, right? So I created a rule set to a strategy I call Midnight Magic. And that's just for me a word to remember the strategy in a good way, because there are so many possibilities when you're trading. And I've tested a lot of strategies and also have forgotten a lot of strategies. And some of it might come from other people. I have no freaking clue, because we all watch YouTube, right? And when we're learning, we all watch all kind of different stuff. So this might be out there, maybe not. I don't mind, it doesn't even matter. But I created a name for it so I can remember it well. And of course, you should always backtest it for yourself. So don't trust me on this. But what you see over here is my strategy I call the Midnight Magic strategy. I collected this data on the NASDAQ, so on that pair only. Haven't tested it on other pairs yet, so if you want to do that, be my guest. I would love it if you could share the results, and so that the community can grow, of course. What you see over here is that I tested 126 trades. I always recommend to do at least 100 trades, so you can also see the seasonal happening, because not all months will be profitable with a strategy. That's just normal. People are just getting wrecked over thinking that you can always make maybe 50% a month and stuff like that. It might for a few months, but those people always get wrecked. So you can it's a better way to just grow steadily and just make a couple of percentages a month. And in that way, this was on a 100K account balance. I tested it with 1% risk. But if you would calculate this over maybe 500K, if you could scale your funded accounts, then this would be a 150K profit, right? So you always have to look at the math, not take more trades, but just take the trades. This is based on a 1 to 2 fixed RR. I would love if people would test this also with a different RR set, because I didn't do that. Maybe it can also, if I look at this, the ideal average RR could be 6. So maybe you could do like 1 to 3, 1 to 4. I would love if people could backtest this. So let's do a quick run on this. You have to be prepared to take a losing streak. That's just how it goes. Of course, this strategy will work better if you have a daily bias and you only trade in the direction of the daily bias. But if you find that hard and get mixed up in the charts a lot of the times and just doubting and stuff like that, then just follow the rule set. And of course, it is possible. The max losing streak was 9. So that's a bigger drawdown. On a funded account, that would have meant, well, it depends on how many profits you would already have on the account. But if it was a new account and you would immediately have this loss streak, then you wouldn't have breached the account. But it was close. So that's what you have to keep in mind. So I always recommend starting out on a funded account with risking 0.5%. But this is just testing data with 1%, and you can just do the math yourself. You're a grown-up, right? So now, well, let me see. If we look at the performance per month, you can see 2 months. This was the worst month, 7% drawdown. That's the big losing month. However, all the other months just even that out, giving us a 36%. And August isn't even ready, because I stopped this session now and we're going to go into the session and we're going to backtest together. So I'll explain the strategy in a minute. August is only in, let me see, the 10th of August is tested. So August actually looks like 4 wins, 2 losses. So it started out well. So this is So these are statistics of the strategy, and now let's go into the rule set so you can test this out yourself. Let me go to the session, and I will just continue the session where this ended. So as you can see, the balance here is the 136,000 that was in the analytics. These are all the closed positions. So as you can see, this session started the beginning of 2022, and now we're at the 10th of August in 22. So as you can see over here, if I profit, it's around 2K. If I lose, it's around 1K. So those are the mathematical statistics over here. So let me make this a little bit smaller. You can see the account balance over here. First of all, Midnight Magic. The easiest way to do this is if you have some indicators on your chart. It just makes it easier and you don't have to think that much. That's just the way it is. So first of all, you want to have the sessions on your chart. So, and which sessions? I mean by that, the London kill zone session, that's 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time, and the New York kill zone session plus London close, so 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. So make sure you have a session. This is London session, right over here. I even have it from 2, but that doesn't matter. It cannot. It's 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Then you want to have a way to get the midnight open price on your chart. And you can do it manually. You can just go to the 12 a.m. New York time. This is midnight open. And you can place a vertical like this and draw out the open of this candle. That's over here. But you can also, as you see over here, have an indicator that does that for you. Well, in FXReplay, I have the session indicator for the sessions and the day of the week and opening price indicator by FXReplay running on this. But if you go to TradingView, I like ICT everything for the sessions and for the midnight open price. And then I have a third indicator that's called fractals, and it just shows the swing high and swing low points. So that makes it a bit easier to focus on what is actually swing high. In ICT's teachings, he says a swing high or a high is where both of the candles beside the middle candle are lower with the wick. So this technically is a high according to his explanations. However, for this makes it easier just to go for the fractals, and those fractals create these triangles on the candles. So you see these are the fractal highs and fractal lows, and that means that on a lower time frame, these are also the important highs and lows. So I just like to do it like this to keep the strategy easy. You don't get into overthinking, but just follow the rule set. So what is the rule set? First of all, you go to the 1 hour time frame and you mark the range between the fractal high and low before midnight open. So let me explain that. We go to the 1 hour chart. And let me go to a new London next day open. All right, so let me remove the text because that's really annoying. So we're at a new day. It's the 11th of August right now. So what I do is we have the midnight open price, and then you just go to the left with your eyes and you mark out the first fractal high and the first fractal low. So we have a massive range right now, I see. So this is the first fractal high that's before the midnight open. And when we go look below on the candles, the first fractal low is over here. So what I do is I draw out a box from low to high or high to low, doesn't matter. This is our range. So I mark out the range, and in this case I go to a little bit of a lower time frame, and then we go to our rule set. And let me see if I can grab this along. So the next thing to do is wait for a break of the 1 hour high or low. So we have to wait for price to either take out the high or take out the low. So I go to the 15 minutes because then we don't have a lot of data in one candle. So now the high is broken. What we're doing next is we're going to drop into the 5-minute time frame and wait for a fractal break of structure with a candle close or displacement. So we go to the 5-minute time frame. And let me zoom this in a bit and we'll keep this here. We are going to look for a counter trend trade. So at least the high broke, so we're looking to short. If the low broke, we're going to look to long. So a 1 hour important fractal high has been broken now. So we're going to see if price wants to displace to the downside. So we wait for a 5-minute fractal break of structure. And what do I mean by that? That means we don't wait for these lows to get taken out. Now we wait for the first fractal low that's around here to be broken. So let's wait and see if it wants to create. It creates another fractal, and it doesn't matter that it's not made a higher high yet. So this is now our fractal low. It broke here, but it's not with the candle close or displacement. So we have to stay patient. Now it's broken. So what I'd like to do next is I like to look if we're into the kill zone. Well, right now we're at London 3:40 a.m. So we're in the London kill zone. So that's also a yes. So now we're valid to take an entry. And what I'd like to do is just enter on the order block that created the last high or low. What do I mean by that? This is the last high. The order block are these up closing candles. So these bullish candles are the total order block that created this high. So this low is my entry. So I place my entry over there. And then I'd like to create some room for the stop loss of 5 handles. Or in this case, yeah, in NAS, I'd like to do this. The stop is 22. And then 22.7. Then I just do 27.8. And then we aim for a 1 to 2 RR. This is the setup. These are the entry criteria. If this one will be profitable, no idea. Because this is new backtesting data. So we have our entry, we have our limit set up. Now we're gonna see where are the controls over here. We're not in the London kill zone anymore, but we might get an entry into the 7 a.m. So let's see what happens. Or it will just run without us. Also a possibility. Or it will tag us out. So then we go to the next day. Do the same thing. 1 hour. Let me... Oh no, don't remove the drawings because I lose this. Let me remove the box. So next day, we have the midnight open over here. We go to the left, we see this fractal high, and we go to the left, we see this fractal low. So the first fractal high and low on the 1 hour before midnight open. I mark out the range. I drop into a lower time frame to wait for the break. And let me price on top. Don't know why this keeps... Let me see. We broke the high. Now we're on the 5 minute. And we're going to wait for a fractal break of the last fractal low. with a candle close. That's not yet the case. Now we have a candle close below this fractal low. So this is a new situation because this is the last run up before it created the high. So we cannot enter here just yet. So what I do when we have a second low over here that it broke, I just take these up close candles to enter on the wick. So this will be my entry. Stop above the highest high. So that's 14.9, so let's make it 20. We are in the London kill zone. Yes, it's 3 a.m. So all the boxes are ticked. Now we're in. And now we're out. Let's go to the next day. Fractal high, fractal low before midnight open. That's our range. And as you can see, this is just how it is. We took 2 losses, no problem. Because this is how I tested the complete session. So we broke the low right now. Go to the 5 minute. And before recording this video, it was in a really nice winning streak. So it's possible that we only will take losses in this video. I don't care. Because the data is there, right? And I'm not here to cover things up. I'm just showing it how it is. No candle close yet above that fractal. We have a new fractal. Still no good close above. And we're out of session now, out of the kill zone. So let's wait for... So we have a break of this high, but 7 a.m. is session, so we wait. So now we're into the session. So let me see, we had this low, it broke, price came back to these down close candles, so we could have entered. It would actually have been a nice entry, but the rule set says we cannot enter before the London session. So because we took off even more now, it also took this high. I'm not too sure that it wants to go up actually. So it's not really within the rule set. So I won't place a trade, I will just watch. But if we would take this order block, but I'm not setting the trade because it doesn't follow my rule set 100%, so I don't want to take the risk. Yeah, and we would have gotten stopped out, so that's why I don't want it. And there was the pump. So you could have taken this one out of session on the last order blocks that make the down closing order block. Entered there, stop below the low, you could have profited, but not within a rule set, so that's how it goes. Let's go to the next one. We get a break to the downside, and now we're waiting until we get a break of a fractal 5-minute high. So there we have broken this fractal 5-minute high. This is the last candle to take us to this low. So I will just draw out this line and just enter. There's also a fair value gap. You can do like your own entry criteria. If you want, you can enter the fair value gap and maybe get a better RR. Just try for yourself what works for you. I just made this as easy as possible. So you don't have to think, oh, what will I choose? The final order block or the fair value gap. Now I just try to take the last down closing candle. And sometimes that means that's a break block. That's fine. So let me remove that, place the order. We are out of session. However, it did tag us in now. No, that's news. So yeah, we were out of session. However, the entry would have still gotten here. Let me see, 7 a.m. So yeah, that's why it would also be been a loss if we would have entered later on the day. So go to the next one. We're down 3R now for at least this video together. This is the low, this is the high. Oh, I'm going a bit too fast. We had no break yet, so no problem. There's a fractal high. Oh, there it broke. Let me see. This is the last set of down close candles. So this is too high, so I cannot enter on that. So I will just take the last order block over here. However, we're already in drawdown now. Let me see. 14, 19. Is this a close above actually? Yeah, it's a close. It's not really a good displacement, so don't know if this... Oh, we're also out of session. Nope, we'll wait. Too many variables, yeah, that's what I thought, that aren't lined up. So we still have to wait until the 7 a.m. So let me go ahead. One more candle. So now we're valid to look for longs again. And maybe it's just a really expensive day to the downside. That's possible. That happens when you're not looking at the daily bias with this strategy. So not a break yet. No, still no break. It's choppy price action. Wow. Some news, I guess. So now we have to wait until this fractal high breaks. I don't think we'll get it before 12 p.m. But let's see. We have a new fractal high. No, we're past 12 p.m. right now. So this was a no trade day. Let's go to the next one. The high and the low. So we're looking for longs now. Fractal high is broken. These are the last down closing candles. So I place my entry on that. Oh, this is a short. We don't want to go short. Entry. Stop at 27. So let's make it 32-ish. 1 to 2. Place the order. Let me do the pricing above all the drawings. It's a little slow. And this was a winning trade. So let's do one more to close it out. And I already know that people aren't going to test this because they saw me take 3 losses in a row and they're like, oh my God, this ain't working. That's why I show you guys the backtesting session, and you cannot define the success of a strategy on only 1 week of data. And that's where a lot of people make the mistake, right? They just, because they took a few losses, they're like, oh, this strategy doesn't work. I have to look at another strategy and another holy grail and another holy grail. And they just keep searching for like the ultimate strategy that doesn't exist. It only exists when you do a lot of work on the charts. You have a really good way in defining the daily bias, and then of course, if you do a lot of things manually and look for the right confluences, you can get a good win rate of maybe 70-80%. But if you're not too confident yet and you just want to have something easy, then just follow a rule set like this. There are so many possibilities when trading, but take your time for it and don't expect like mountains of money immediately. That's just not how it works. It's a statistics game. And you have to view trading as a business. And that can be very hard for people because most of us didn't grow up with a good money mindset and don't know how to manage money in a good way. So we broke the low, so I'm looking for longs. Maybe you already did see that before I started to rant about money mindset and stuff. So we're out of session now. Let me go forward. Yeah, so this is the 7 a.m. Still waiting to see if we can, we're breaking a fractal high right now. These are the down closing order blocks, so that doesn't give me an entry. Let me see. Not really I don't see any entry over here, so let's just market it in at that point. So when you don't see anything, maybe on the lower time frames there can be like a fair value gap or something like that. Yeah, maybe over here, but let's just make it easy. If you don't see that order block, and I don't see one here before this fractal, then just market it in, or maybe take a fib from here to there and take it on the OTE entry. But I'm just keeping it simple. I'm just going to do it like this. Place the order as a market order. Oh, that was close, right? It looks like it wants to take these lows now. Yeah, that's what I thought. Too bad. That was just bad luck. So for this session, or at least now on this video, and I don't want to make the video too long, those were 4 losses and 1 win. So we're down to R for all the trades that I took right now. So this is a strategy. Just look at it for yourself. Maybe you can test TPing at 1 to 3 RR. That could be something you can test it out on different pairs. Haven't done that yet. Just test it out for yourself and see what you like as an entry. If you're good at daily bias, you can take that into account, of course, and make this a strategy that totally fits your idea of trading. But for now, Midnight Magic, it just has really good numbers, so I cannot deny that it's a good strategy. And like in August, like I said, we were up 4 RR for the month when we looked at the data, because we saw these 6 trades. And now I took a bit more loss. I took 4 losses and 1 win. So it's still 3 are up for the month. And that's how you need to look at the data. So as you can see here, first Q1 was really good. Q2 was 1 R down. Then Q3 now is heading, or at least until now has a 7R profit. So this is how you need to look at the data. And I will keep going to this specific session and continue, because I also want to test throughout 2023 with this rule set. Don't make any differences with only the 1 to 2 RR. And I might in the end do some data with a different RR or maybe different rules, but for now I'm just gonna go test a few months and then test a few months and test a few months until I get to where we are now in like almost October 2023. So if you can have these kinds of numbers, and even if you would have only taken like a 1.5% on your funded account, so you have less drawdown, right? Then you would have still been 17% up on the account that is on a 100K account, 17,000 on like 7 months. That's around 2.5K, something like that. So with that in mind, you know, if you can scale your capital to 200K, 400K, 500K, you can just do the math yourself. And this is what you have to keep in mind. This is the mindset you need to have. So this also prevents overtrading. And I know it. I did it. And I was like a kamikaze. I don't know if that's an English word. I don't care. I was like a Tasmanian devil, over leveraging. I made all the stupid mistakes. So trust me when I tell you that it's a numbers game. It's really a numbers game. So remember that. So this is the strategy, Midnight Magic. I hope you enjoy this video. And if you would like to join my Discord, I would love to see you there. I'm not planning on growing a big Discord. I don't like those big Discords. So I probably want to have like a max cap. How do you say that? A cap of 200 people and then close it out. So for now, the first 50 members still get a big discount because the online course is not up yet. It's coming soon. And what you get in my Discord are the weekly outlooks, a video with my view on the charts for the week ahead, 1 or 2 live streams a week, and you can ask questions. Maybe I do some live trading, stuff like that. I give 1 to 3 trade setups per week. And most of the times those are based on the weekly expansion or daily expansion. Proven trade strategies, mind vitamins to get you on your top of your game, also psychological. We have a community with high vibe people, so it's not a community where you come in for specific signals, because I won't specify the exact entries and stop loss. I want you to learn yourself, and also when we all take the same trades with the same entries and stop losses, your account on the funded prop firms will get breached, because they're gonna say it's not allowed to copy trade. Only your own accounts you may copy trade, but not others. So make sure you have you do the work, like know how to trade, and I will teach you that. And so you can take your own entries based off the trade setup ideas I give. My educational content is coming soon, by the end of October, beginning of November. All ICT, but then made easy and practical with just a few proven methods and not all the methods. But of course, there will be a little bit of advanced things in there with the standard deviations and stuff like that, if you already know that a bit. And I will do some giveaways in the near future, and maybe I will seek some collaborations with maybe prop firms so I can give away those kind of things. But these things are coming soon, and this is already in there. So if you want to become a better trader and become sovereign in your trading and not depend on someone, this is a community to go for. So thank you for the review, Mr. No Bullshit. This is not for beginners. So you need to know how to place a trade in the software you use, if it's MT4 or 5 or something like that. And you have to have some basic experience, already know some ICT stuff, but it's hard for you to make your own edge, right? So if you're a newbie, my educational videos might not be your cup of tea. So this is it. If you'd like to join, be my guest, and I'd love to see you there. So this was Midnight Magic Strategy, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.